Moscow and Beijing have pledged deeper security cooperation across Europe and Asia as Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov prepares to wrap up 2 days of high-level talks in China. He held discussions with Chinese President Xi Jinping, during which reports suggest he told Mr. Xi the two sides will work together to implement new strategic tasks set out by their respective leaders. He says their deeper security cooperation is ultimately aimed at counteracting U.S. influence in the region.
Напрашивается задача формирования евразийской безопасности. Об этом упомянул президент Путин в своем послании Федеральному собранию. И мы с китайскими друзьями договорились начать диалог с подключением других наших единомышленников по этому вопросу.
Mr. Lavrov also held talks with his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi, who emphasized the close relationship between the two sides and their leaders. It was a sentiment echoed by the Kremlin, which has since hinted at a possible visit by President Vladimir Putin to China.
今年两国元首将继续通过多种形式保持密切交往，双方将以两国元首共识为根本遵循，推动双边关系行稳致远。
And for more, Dasha Chernyshova joins us live from Moscow. Dasha, both sides agreeing to strengthen that strategic and security cooperation, which already exists. So what does this deeper cooperation mean? Give us the details.
Well, that's right. The Russian foreign minister traveling to China has had a number of meetings with his counterparts, Foreign Minister Wang Yi, as well as with the Chinese President Xi Jinping. And following both of these meetings, Moscow says that both Moscow and Beijing continue to implement the tasks of strategic development in the relations between the two. Those are the tasks that have been outlined by the presidents of these two countries. Just to give you the sense, in 2022, they have proclaimed the no-limits partnership. So this is the process that is still in the making and that is getting deeper and deeper. With regards to what we have heard from the Russian foreign minister, he said that Wang Yi formulated in one of the meetings with him the formula, the double counteraction to double containment, meaning that the United States is impeding the creation of the multipolar world order. And this is what Moscow and Beijing will be trying to counteract with their actions when it comes to countering the Western sanctions against the Russian Federation, as also the Western measures that are aimed at curbing the Chinese economic development. So the two countries do say that there are elements in the international system that are not allowing the establishment of the multipolar world order, and they do blame Washington for that. So these two countries will try to do their best to make sure that the multipolar world order is created. They are going to tighter cooperate when it comes to the trade relationship, to their counteraction in the international organizations such as the G20, such as the UN Security Council, as well as the BRICS, where Russia is holding the rotating chairmanship this year. So the understanding is obviously that these two countries are all not only pledging, but also trying to do their best to practically implement steps that will be further promoting the creation of this multipolarity.
All right, perhaps a good sign, or a strong sign rather, of cooperation would be a possible visit signaled by the Kremlin of President Vladimir Putin to China. Apart from a tentative date, what more might we know about that potential visit so far?
Well, we do have the confirmation from the Kremlin that such a visit is being prepared, but no concrete details have been provided so far with regards to the date. Obviously, when it comes to the agenda, we remember after the previous meetings that the two leaders held, they are discussing everything, starting from the trade relationship between these two countries, from the bilateral ties, but also including the international agenda and primarily the conflict in Ukraine, as well as the situation cooperation in terms of security in the Asia-Pacific region, on the Korean Peninsula as well. So the understanding is that this process of preparing for this meeting is in the making, and the visit by the Russian foreign minister to China is a signal that they are working on the agenda. But we are yet to wait for more details and the date. Some rumors and some sources are saying that could take place after Putin's inauguration, which is due on the 7th of May.
Oh, thanks for that. Dasha Chernyshova, joint reporting live just there from Moscow.